heading out to Hudson's Hot Rods to see the Preacher. It's a project they just finished up. It's like a 66, 67 pickup truck. They had it out at SEMA. I didn't shoot it out there. I knew we could get a better video outside the crowd of SEMA back at the shop. So anyways, when I get Will run down, we'll take a quick look at it. Will, thanks for taking the time to let me check out this truck, brother.
Thank you, Scotty.
You had it out at SEMA, but we didn't have time out there.
Yeah, we just got it finished for SEMA, so it was fresh there.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about what you did. Let's start here at the front. That's not a stock grill.
No, we actually started with a stock grill, and it got cut to pieces. And customer and I, we all went over the shapes and stuff, and this is what he had in mind for a shape. So we took it and ran with it, and then actually as it progressed, the grill is set back. So we wanted to set the headlights back. He wanted everything to be recessed. So with all the metal work in that grill, there's just a ton of time in it. And then we used Ring Brothers rings off of a 69 Camaro to kind of flush and hold everything in. So there's tons of modifications in the grill, the hood, the bumper. It just carried on through.
That's all metal work too?
Yes, all metal.
Holy smokes. Who does all that?
Well, here at the shop, we do everything here. So everything was done here.
You shave the door handles and mirrors? No kind of a chop though, right?
No chop. It just sits extremely low. It's on a roadster shop chassis. It's a coilover.
So that's where it sits?
Truck. Yeah, that's ride height right there.
Smokes.
Yeah.
You're going to have to change that.
Yeah, so we're looking at...
That's show ride height there.
Yeah, we're looking at just a couple of, maybe an inch or so higher.
Right.
But he wants to set it as low as possible, so we'll have to play with that.
Sure, yeah, you do want it as low as possible.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling that's a little lower than possible.
Right.
Well, it's not if you don't mind knocking your frame out, chassis out, and all that, right?
Right, yeah, and I don't think he's wanting to do that.
No.
So he got to see it the night before SEMA. He's about 3.5 hours from us, so he drove in to see it before it left, and he was ecstatic about it. He really liked it.
Now, is this the original bed on it? Is that the right year? Or
yeah, this is original step-side bed, but we've shaved all the parking lights and stuff like that, which kind of took some of the shape out of it. And then to the sides of it, he didn't want no lights hanging off of it like original, so we used the Grinning Auto Company tail light, and he wanted it suspended in midair. So with that, we just took it and cut it and mounted that in there.
Fenders, is that the original shape of those, or you change those?
Yeah, no, that's the original shape of the fenders. The only thing we did do is change the step. The step, there was no smooth steps or anything, so we actually smoothed the step out to make everything kind of a smooth look. And then one of the things that changed this truck a lot is the vent window. We did away with the vent window completely. A lot of trucks you look at will have a small filler in the corner vent,
right? And
we didn't want that. So
you just wanted that whole open window.
Yeah,
you had to get custom glass too.
Yeah, we had the glass custom cut here local, and so with that we didn't have to have the little filler piece.
I like this.
Thanks, Scotty.
Very cool.
There's a ton of time in here. Due to the metal headliner, we didn't want a regular headliner, so we wanted to run a metal sheet metal. So we dimple dyed all that. And
you rolled it too, is that right?
Yes, yeah. Just to get a recess.
That is cool. Two like separate ones.
Yeah, we wanted something a little different in the headliner versus a normal headliner.
And that's all metal.
That's all metal.
And what's it backed up with?
Actually, I call it like tennis shoe top material, but it's like a nylon that we use to kind of give it a puffy look, just to fill up the holes.
Sweet. And are these like real screws in the seat?
Yeah, we actually use tamper-proof screws. We was gonna do rings. We've always done rings, so we actually wanted to change it up for him, and he was okay with whatever we wanted. So we used a tamper-proof screw with a stainless washer.
What'd you pack it with?
It's actually on the back side of this. It's just got a piece of padding that we screwed the screws into.
Okay, with like a nut or something to hold it.
Yeah, it's just actually going into the padding, and you can't pull them out.
Sweet. Wow, I like that console. Very simple. Does this open up here in the middle?
Yeah, this is where everything's housed for him. So he just takes that off, sits it beside the seat, and he's got all his access to everything right there. And he's got a master shift, so he'll be able to use that as a bump shift.
So it's an automatic and a 6-speed?
Yeah, it's a 6-speed, and this here, it'll work somewhat towards like a Lenco would.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's gonna have to take a little bit of figuring out there and getting used to. So yeah, but it's what he wanted, and so
he's gonna use the truck. Said he's gonna go out and have some fun with it.
Yeah, he said he's gonna get out and autocross it, and that's what he built it for. So he's looking to pound it down. So
and you got the vintage air in it for air condition.
Yep, we used the vintage air, and we actually, on the dimple dye theme, he liked that, so we used it in his vents for the air to blow through. It's got some stainless honeycomb in there. We ran it down on the kick panels also. We did some dimple dyeing down there and put the honeycomb behind it.
Yeah, I love those gauges. What's that cluster out of?
That's actually that cluster was just made. We went through about 3 different gauge clusters before we got one that we had liked and he had liked. So wanted something different. So that's all pipe. And all the wiring and everything is ran through that. So you can actually wipe the dash off behind the gauge cluster itself. It's floating.
There's no wires back there, sure enough. Boy, that's sweet. So that's something y'all custom made right here.
Yeah, that was just custom built here. The whole dash was actually custom built. This is not a 70 dash. We used about from here down was the only thing original.
Oh, wow.
And then we actually called Dan at Limacraft Grill to mill out this piece here. This accessed everything, clutch and brake and everything under the dash. This could be removed and you could work on things if you had to.
All functional.
Everything's functional, yeah. Everything's real mechanical. And we tried to run it through on the door panels also.
That's your actually trim there.
Yeah, this is some trim we'll be offering here real soon. We kind of like this, I call it a sprocket look. We used it in the bed and in here, and we've had a good response from that, so that's something we'll be doing here soon.
That's cool. And again, you used your sprocket molding around on the inside.
Yeah, we wanted to try to tie everything in this truck in together, and we was going for a real mechanical look and feel.
And what's this, for a cooler or something?
Yeah, no, this is actually where he'll fuel it at. He wanted something a little different to fuel, so we used the Allen Johnson cap on that. It's an aircraft cap, so just something to kind of dress it up under there a little bit, and this would be how he fuels it.
Even though you can't see that, that's a good detail to have in there, right?
Yeah, because he wanted to kind of show the rear end and some of the detail painting and stuff like that. So, and it's kind of a little storage deal for him too. He can throw some stuff in here and keep a few things.
You'll make a container back there.
Yep.
Yeah, I got you.
Yep.
We're just throwing it together for SEMA.
Yeah, getting it there. Yeah.
No, I think that turned out good. And then the inner fenders, they're tubbed. It doesn't look like much.
No, that's
flush before.
Yeah, the way they were before, this is actually a custom built tub. So just something to kind of go with the top of the bed rails and just keep it real clean back here.
And is that flat?
Yeah, this is all flat, the same color as this, which this is a custom mixed silver is what they called it, but it's got a beige tint to it. And then everything flat was just that color, just flattened out with PPG.
What do we got going on up here?
Well, he wanted some horsepower with it, so he actually went, and it was going to start off 500 horsepower when we first started talking. Well, he come back from the motor builder, and we watched it dyno at 1170 on the horsepower. It's a LSX Supercharged.
Holy smokes. 1100 and what?
It's 1170 on the dyno, and they're talking they could get 1500 if he wants it.
Holy smokes. Man, I really like the work you did around it too, though, right? That's sweet.
Thanks. We wanted something really clean and just kind of a mechanical feel. So with that, to where he could take it apart if he ever had to work on it or anything. So every bit of this unbolts. It's not necessarily just a tight-fitted gap engine bay, but it turned out really cool.
I love what you did under the hood, the bracing, and you
yeah, he wanted something different than a 70 model hood. So all this was all hand-built, dimple-dyed bracings. It actually had a 69 Camaro hood scoop put on it, so it would actually come out further to house the supercharger. And then the blower belt cover it's pretty well for looks, but if a belt ever came off, I think it would do its purpose. We didn't want something slapping the bottom of that hood, so just built a blower belt cover and dimple dyed it too.
Sweet. No, beautiful job under here.
Thank you. And then all the vents and stuff actually
function.
Yeah, there's compartments underneath them. You actually fill the water over there on the passenger side one, and there's little things in here just to access and work on.
Oh, okay.
Because all the vents actually come through the bumper. All the air intake the bumpers actually work. It sucks the air through them.
Well, thanks so much for giving me the time to check that truck out.
Thanks for coming out, Scotty. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Tell me, if people are interested in getting in touch with Hudson's Hot Rods, how do they need to do that?
You can look us up on our website, Facebook, Instagram. Just check us out there.
Is it Hudson, what, www?
It's www.hudsonsrodandcustoms.com.
And what is it on Facebook?
It's Hudson's Rod and Customs on Facebook and Instagram.
And you keep that Instagram pretty much
I keep Facebook and Instagram going all the time.
Awesome. Thanks so much, brother.
Thank you, Scotty. Appreciate it.
So there you go, 69 C10 from Hudson's Rod and Customs. Hope you all enjoyed it. See ya.